Previously on a session on the XWF podcast, 5 men congregated to discuss the first round of the March Madness tournament. We go to that footage now.
All right. Before we start covering the Elite Eight, guys, there's something I wanted to talk about that happened to me very recently. I was in traffic. I was at a stoplight, and I look over to my right, and in the back seat of the car next to me is a little boy, and he's looking at me. So I make a face at him like a grown up would, and he immediately turns and he talks to his mom who's in the driver's seat. And as a grown up, I notice this and I look forward so that way, and I keep her in my periphery. So when the mom looks back and looks at me, she sees that I'm not making a face. So she says something back to the kid. The kid, he has some reaction, then looks back at me, and I notice, so I make the face at him again. So he says something, and I can only believe it's like he's doing it again. And she says something or other, and as soon as she starts talking, I look forward. Just go ahead and poker face that shit. So that way she looks back and sees I'm not making the face. So she says something else to the kid, and I notice in my periphery, he looks back, I make the face at him again, and then the light turns green. Now, I'm not sure if I taught this young man a very important life lesson or if I was grooming him for something. But I do know while I was driving away from the green light, my girlfriend looked at me and was like, what the hell was that about? So that leads us to the Elite Eight. The first Elite Eight match is going to be, we're going to talk about Jenny Mist versus Latina Submission Machina. So going into this, Mist has a little bit more momentum than Latina Submission Machina, but I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I think that what they're going to be bringing to the table is pretty good stuff. Mr. Page, why don't you take it over from here?
Well, what I like about this particular match is how it starts off our tournament. It's just like any other kind of match on a show. It kind of dictates the pace, if you will. Same concept here. While it's the first Elite Eight match, it's going to set the pace for what's to come. Jenny Mist coming back into the Fed after taking a hiatus, taking on Latina Submission Machina. To me, this is a pick'em. It's going to come down to kind of who wants it the most and who's going to show us the most on the boards. I think that this one could easily fall either way. Doc, what are you thinking about this one?
Well, Paige, I faced both these ladies in my time here, and both of them can bring it when they have to, especially Jenny Mist. Wait for Jenny Mist to wake up for a while now. So I would say March Madness would be the time to do it. The Elite Eight, the Latina Submission Machina. She came to Doc and wanted to prove herself, which I think she did, even though, things went the way they did. But like you said, I think it's a toss-up between the two. Who's going to move on to the March Madness pay-per-view and goes on from there.
Under Knuckles.
Go ahead, Doc. Finish your thought.
I said, should I shovel it off to somebody that I wanted to? Like, is it like? Go ahead.
Okay.
I feel like there's an edit.
I would have picked BK too, so it's all right. We're gonna stay with Theo for last.
Yep, he's the important one, so makes sense.
No, just whatever.
No, he is the important one. It's okay.
No, you're wrong.
He'll tell us how important he is here in a minute, I'm sure. But first, I have to say that Jenny Mist versus LSM is going to be probably my second favorite match of the Elite Eight. I really want to see another one, but we'll get to that. Both these ladies could really go, so I'm excited to see what happens. Now, Thea, please, for the love of God, tell us how important you are.
I'm just going to say this. Doc just gave a masterclass on how to sell an opponent who no-shows you. So that's awesome. Way to go, Doc. I think... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So says the man who let his ficus die.
Hey, I pay people to keep that thing alive, and they failed. That's not my fault. Okay, it's not my fault.
That's one dead ass plant. Just saying.
I mean, it is what it
Like
is.
Charlie,
Okay?
it's like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree.
Hey, you know what? You can buy them things at Walmart now every Christmas. Maybe you can buy a dead ficus for all I know.
I thought ficus were already fake plants. You guys and your inside jokes. Oh, gee.
So about the match, I mean, I agree with Doc. I think both are really good and both can bring it whenever they kind of turn the switch on. I think Mist has done really well since she came back, and I think one of the reasons why is because the handler is focusing on one character. He isn't writing three at the same time and kind of spreading himself too thin. I've enjoyed what Mist has done so far, and I think that momentum will carry through at least for this round of the tournament.
It's one that's going to set the pace, I think,
Yeesh.
for sure. I think this is one that, like I said, I do think that it goes either way. I don't think that I don't envy who our next contest is going to have to take on, whether it be Jenny or LSM. I would be remiss if I didn't say that my thoughts are with Jenny on this one because I think that character could do a lot more. But it'll take us into our second Elite Eight match, which is going to be Thunder Knuckles taking on the cult following that is Barney Green. I think there's the proper place to start is going to be with Bobby Bourbon on this one because Barney is an honorary. Isn't he still an honorary kind of bastard?
No, Barney is not a bastard. Barney is a saint. This match breaks my heart because I want to root for both guys. In fact, I am rooting for both guys. I don't know how I can do that. That's actually a lie. I'm not gonna lie, Barney. I love you to death, man. But TK, you got to take this one, man. Like, you and I, we went to the moon and back, and
Literally.
yeah, and yeah, all the love and respect to Barney Green for what he does for the Fed. But I'm really looking forward to Thunder Knuckles lowering the boom here and advancing in the Elite Eight. And that's no slight against Mr. Green. That's just it's all love all around for both guys. Again, I'm just not going to break my own heart over it. I don't want to use the term bottom bitch, so I won't. Theo, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, I think this is going to be an easy win for Barney because TK sucks.
Tell us how you really feel.
And that's how important I am.
he just called the punk. TK is gonna be jobbing out to Barney Green in round one just because the boss said so, and that's how important he fucking is. Doc, give me your thoughts on Barney and TK in this Elite Eight, which what we now know, based off of what our illustrious figurehead has just told us, that Barney Green's gonna make it to March Madness.
You guys joke around like it's not gonna fucking happen. Like Barney Green is the hardcore extreme XWF legend. Like he's bringing a trash can to the ring filled with
White Claw.
rubbish. You know what I mean? Like just, and I don't think I just don't think TK's ever faced anybody like Barney Green before. Friends or not, bastard or not, sons of bitches or not. I don't just. I believe if TK plans on becoming like king of the XWF here, first round, I think he's at the he drew the short straw, is what I'm saying, because Barney Green knows when it's time to bring it, and I believe he will for the Elite Eight.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Doc, but we'll get into that in a minute. TK?
Well,
hang on, TK. Before we come to you, let me give you my thoughts on this one real quick,
all right,
and then we'll round it out with you because I have to lean on the side of Bobby Bourbon in this instance, and it's not a slight against Barney Green. I don't think that Barney's ready for TK.
You
and
motherfuckers aren't ready for Barney Green, is what's happening right here.
well, you and Theo can both fuck off with that logic, even though Theo's already tried to play
Logic.
spoiler.
Logic.
The smart money here is on Thunder Knuckles. And if anyone says otherwise, sorry that you feel that way.
I'm taking bets. I am the decider. I am taking bets.
Well, you know, I'm betting TK. I got all the X bucks on TK to pull out this one in round one. Barney, wish you the best of luck. You're going to be a phenomenal read like you always are. TK, your thoughts taking on Mean Green? Mean Green, Barney Green.
Well, I'm not looking forward to this one personally. I know what I'm going to have to do, and I don't want to. And now I've got cards stacked against me with the Theo nonsense, and I just got to bring it, right? So that's all I'll say. Barney, I love you.
You gotta shut up the boss, man. He's basically saying you're gonna go out on your back here.
Well, it's what they said about Robert Maine too, isn't it?
But he's here all week, folks. Is there anything else that we want to touch on with Barney and TK, or do we move on? Because Bobby, I know a second ago you said you want to circle back around to something with Doc.
Oh no. We'll talk about who drew the short straw a little later.
Gotcha. Okay. Your next match on the Elite Eight. This one's very interesting. I'm gonna mispronounce your name, and that's totally fine because I'll do it every goddamn show.
Oh, do it.
Is it Rayon Keto versus Gage Coleman? I make no bones about it. I'm a huge fan of Keto in his character since he's come into the Fed. I think he's done some really good work. I've talked to him and Theo. I've talked to you about it as well. I think that he's someone to watch, and I think that of everyone that's involved in the tournament, he could be the breakout here. Engage is when he brings his shit. He's very capable. I think this is a very solid opening round or Elite Eight match. So Doc, let me come over to you first. What do you think about this one?
Oh, what match is it again?
Match number 3 of the Elite Eight.
Oh, Rayon Keto versus.
You have your fucking card up, so you tell me.
Oh, Rayon Keto versus Cage Coleman.
Yeah, whatever.
Right,
with
cool.
a C, Chris. With a C.
I really like Rayon Keto, man. I think he's been stellar since he showed up. A month ago, a couple months. I mean, he's
within
been fire, man.
He's been within 6 to 8 weeks, and he's went up against some very, very good competition.
He opting in all the time and shit. Like he's been fun. He's been fun to follow. And Cage Coleman, been a while for Raul, and has been involved in several big matches. Was he involved in the Leap of Faith or?
He had the Extreme title.
He's had the Extreme title, indeed. Yeah, I mean,
they just wrapped that little program up last month. So he's got single success. It's not that he doesn't by any means.
So definitely a fun matchup between these two. Like Rayon Keto, he just had a TV title shot there against Charlie. Charlie's been on a roll for a couple months here with that TV title, and for Keto to step up and it had been a close match, So I'm looking forward to see what he can do here in March Madness.
Bobby.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I respect both guys, but Ryan Keto, he's the new kid. He's the cool new kid in class. He got my attention. I definitely hit him up. I was like, hey, you like working together and doing some cool stuff? And he's like, sure. What did you have in mind? He's like, well, I'm gonna jump you on Savage, send a counterattack. And he's like, okay. And I don't know if he sent the counterattack or not, but yeah, I definitely look forward to working with him in the future. He's got a lot of potential. Cage Coleman, from what I know, tenure in the XWF, not just as Cage Coleman. Definitely has been a huge contributor to the Fed. Yeah, I'm interested to see what Keto brings. I think that he may advance. I don't think he's going all the way.
Okay.
That's personal bias.
Well, Rayon Keto is probably one of my favorite reads right now, and Gage here, he's tough, right, Paige? Gage.
Sure, man. Whatever you say.
This is going to be one I'm looking forward to seeing as it comes out.
And Thea, are you done? Are you not done? Are you three making fun of me because I will mispronounce people's names on every fucking show? I mean, is this? Are you done?
Yeah, I was actually just going to throw it to Theo, but I'm glad you got it out.
Oh no, I'm about to get a lot more out than that, brother. I've got a liver situation and I don't have to hold anything back. Okay, it's go time. Theo, shoot on me. Let's go.
So, Rayon Keto and Cage Coleman. What can I say about them?
Absolutely nothing. Moving on. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I think you guys kind of summed it up. Keto has, I think, opened a lot of people's eyes since he's come here. Great writer. If you read his work, you can tell he does his homework. He really looks at what people have done, past and present, to try and get a feel for them. I've enjoyed his work. His match against Charlie, it was really tight. I was pulling for Keto just because, I always like seeing new faces kind of have some success right off the bat. I think, I think it helps them feel more at home. I think it kind of makes them more comfortable. So I'm always rooting for that kind of stuff. But Charlie's kind of in a groove right now. And he kept going with the title, which is great. In terms of this match, I think it's a good matchup. I think Cage and Keto are both really good writers. I enjoy reading their stuff. I think Keto is going to use this opportunity to kind of bounce back from his match against Charlie. Like Bobby said, I don't know that he's necessarily going to win the whole thing. He might. I think he has a shot. But I definitely think he's going to advance at least this round.
Well, to be fair, Theo, everyone has a shot, with the exception of one person, and we'll get to them in a minute.
I mean, that's a perfect segue, Bobby, because what I was about to say is my pick to win the whole thing is not right here, but it's one of my semifinalists. It's Bobby Bourbon in the Cavalry. So chat me up, Bobby. Let's talk about how you're gonna annihilate the Cavalry to get to March Madness.
I'm going to pass. I will defer, and I will get the ball in the second half. Somebody else, you know what, Theo, you're very important. Probably the most important person here. You start off.
I appreciate that, Rob. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good match. I've really enjoyed Calvary's work since he came back. You are such a cock. Oh my god. Get out of your system.
Let's go.
Theo lost his place.
Okay. So, as I was saying, are you good? I just wanted to make sure if you were going to jump back in again, I gave you a chance. I don't even know what I was talking about. No, I'm kidding. Robbie Bourbon and Calvary. Calvary's work has been fun since he came back. I've enjoyed it. He's a good writer, entertaining. But Robbie, I have gone on record in saying Robbie is one of my favorite writers ever. I've never not liked something he's done. I know Page is upset because I've never said that about him and probably never will. But I love Robbie's work. I enjoy it. And I think he is probably, if somebody said to me, who do you think is going to win the tournament? I'd probably put my money on Robbie. The only other person that could beat him maybe is TK, but he's not getting past Barney. So I guess it's probably Robbie's tournament to lose.
In all seriousness, I think that the dynamic between the main event of Elite Eight, because that's what this is. We're building up to get to Bourbon Calvary here. It sets up some good shit for the future. Make no bones about it. I do think Bobby's going to win this first round match. I think the Calvary, while I'm not trying to put anything past him, has just come back. I don't know if he's in his groove yet. He could very much prove me wrong. But I think that we have the opportunity to get a Bourbon TK final at the end of the day, and only time will tell that. But I think that this is the first step towards making that ultimate dream match a reality. We've got a huge crop of talent to get through. TK, you go on this one.
Yeah, this is the one I'm most excited for. I know both guys can really go, like really go, top tier shit. So
When they're motivated, and
when
I
they're
think
motivated, yep.
I think this is a good opportunity that's going to tell that is with this match right here.
Yep. This, as far as the Elite Eight go, is probably my favorite matchup. Like, obviously, my heart says Bobby Bourbon and my brain says Bobby Bourbon. I'm going to say Bobby Bourbon, but Calvary can't go. So let's see. Let's see. I'm really excited for this one.
Surprise factors there with this one, and I think a large part has to do with Calvary just recently coming back, and this being a pretty big opportunity. This tournament's always been a thing, and there's always been implications surrounding whoever leaves with as the king of the XWF or the March Madness tournament winner, whichever, or March Madness, March Madness tournament winner. So, Doc, we're gonna try this one more time. Are you there?
You say me?
I did.
You cut out there like twice.
Oh,
So sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your
for
thoughts
sure.
on this one right here?
Well, I hate to piggyback Theo, but I mean, Bobby Bourbon, man. I haven't made it a fucking mystery that I've always been a Bourbon man. Always rooting for Bobby Bourbon. And while I'm excited that Calvary's back, he's done great and shows a lot, you know what I mean? But you want to talk about dream matches and stuff like that with Bobby Bourbon and TK, but I mean, that's all I got.
Herbs.
Well, okay. We talked earlier about who drew the short straw, and I think right now I will declare it right now. It was Latina Submission Machina, actually. But I will say this: Calvary is going to be tough competition. I look forward to facing Calvary. But I'm pretty hyped. I think a lot of people say that when it comes to my work, it's just how motivated I am. I'm feeling pretty motivated. This is me coming back to the dance as a solo competitor. After some rough patches last year, I think my last solo match I lost to Alias. So yeah, I'm looking to do a little bit of rebounding. I look forward to facing Calvary, and I hope he brings it because I feel like I am, and I feel very distinguished that I'm in the main event of a Savage. I feel very distinguished that I'm part of this Elite Eight, um, and I got to represent, and hopefully I do that right, and hopefully we tear the house down, and with a little luck, I move forward in the tournament.
That's badass.
There's only one thing left to do, and that's to get through the Elite Eight. There's fucking 8 people here, all with one shot. To get this done. It's gonna be who wants it the most, who shows up and delivers, who takes it. I think that, and Theo, you correct me if I'm wrong, with the Elite Eight that we have right now, any one of these people have a breakout star opportunity right now take parlay a tournament win into some bigger and better things.
With the exception of TK, I would say that's probably true.
Yeah, TK's out first round. Or he's
Like
out.
guaranteed. I don't even know why. I should probably just take his name off the card altogether.
Well, you can put that line across his
Good.
name.
A little strike through. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I agree with you. I think that, and I truly do hope that whoever wins this does kind of take that momentum and uses it. Some people who have won the tournament have done some fun little things with the whole king or queen of the XWF concept. So I hope whoever wins this year does that and kind of makes it their own and uses it to kind of further their character. That will be the ultimate, for this tournament.
The only thing left to do, guys, is get to it.
Yep.
So let's run down this March Madness card, huh?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right. Well, here we are. We know what's brought us to the dance. Now let's see who's made it to the dance.
Oh man, and I'm glad it's March 18th. Man, yesterday being St. Patrick's Day, that was a hoot.
I'm still a little drunk thinking about it.
Oh man, I'm still a little thinking about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the XWF podcast with your host, Chronic Chris Page, them no good bastards, Thunder Knuckles, Bobby Bourbon, and yes, if available, Bearded War Pig. And the action starts now.
Thank you for listening to that pre-recorded taping of the XWF podcast. We now rejoin the XWF podcast, currently in play. On that note, we go to Tokyo, Japan, live from the Tokyo Dome. It is March Madness 4. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. This is an exciting ass pay-per-view. I don't know top to bottom, this whole card looks awesome. I am amped for every match on here. What about you, TK? There's some matches on here that got you excited?
There's quite a few on here that got me excited. Alias Vaughn we'll be talking about.
Oh yeah.
Marf the Chameleon. That'll be a good one. Angie Vaughn versus Corey Smith. Simp versus Charlie Nichols. It's a really good card.
To bottom. Paige, tell us about it. What are your thoughts?
I mean, this is what what March is for us, right? And it has been for the last several years. It's March Madness. It's usually built around this tournament, much like it was this year. I'm stoked. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to jump in and kind of cover these matches because it's going to be a big night.
Yeah. Well, that takes us to our opening match. We'll just go ahead and kick it off. Ricky Rodriguez versus Thaddeus Duke, both men represented by you, Chris Page. TK, do you have any thoughts on this match?
I haven't seen Ricky Rodriguez too much. I think we saw him at the Margarita Mixer in OCW.
Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't read too much of his work. So, I mean, if we're doing predictions and stuff, I'm going to go with Duke only because I know the quality of work Duke can put out regularly.
True. Fair enough. Paige, tell us more about your clients and this match.
I think reality, this match is kind of put together because Thad didn't have a whole lot to do for March Madness, and Ricky is he's kind of been a mainstay in Fight NYC, and he's out there in a couple other places as well. I think Liberty Pro, and he's also doing something with Zion, which is an angled fed. The to me, and I have to kind of try not to be biased because they're CCPE guys and it's a whole nother project that's a whole nother thing. But to see that they wanted to work together I thought it was great. I did not know that Thad and Ricky were going to do this. If you go back to CCP's First Warfare as the actual GM, he had talked about bringing in new blood, and I had brought Macbain in. I didn't know that Ricky was going to come over and do this with Thad. So to me, like it plays more into that angle as well as Paige is bringing fresh blood into the Fed. So we'll see what happens. If I've got to give a prediction, because I did find out earlier this week, guys, that I won last year's pay-per-view predictions.
Oh, yeah?
Suarez. I think
Awesome.
just by a couple, not by much.
I'm giving you a high five, man. Congratulations.
Ricky does some good work, but I think when Thad's in his own space, he's kind of hard to beat. I can't root against Thad on this one. Paige is there. He's going to be kind of a neutral party, just kind of in the corner, or maybe even on commentary, just to enjoy what this. It could be a really, really fucking good opening contest. It could set the pace for a flawless pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to it. I hope Ricky brings the shit because he's going to have to if he wants to knock off that. I just don't see it happening on this particular program.
Well, you know, I think that's a great way to put it right there. Pace setting. I think these guys are going to be pace setting for the entire card. They both have a lot of talent. I'm interested to see what Ricky Rodriguez brings to the table. I do remember him from me and TK's stint in winning the tag championships in OCW. So, yeah, the guy can write. He's really good, very entertaining read, and this is going to be a good feud or a good match. You know, I don't know if it's a feud. You guys are in the same fiasco, not a fiasco. It's a
it's an enterprise. God damn it! No, we're not as stable. We're not as stable. It's not. Don't do that. No, it's a management company.
all right.
And in advance, let me go ahead and apologize now. As we're recording this, I have COVID. I don't know how I sound. To me, I feel like I sound terrible.
Sound
So
like
I'm gonna try.
Marlboro Man ate a steak.
I'm gonna try and get through this. Like TK had actually called me, and 7 o'clock. Spoiler: it's like 8:45 right now, guys. As we're recording this, I forgot about the show, and I see that Doc rolled in. So Doc, we're just covering the first match. Thad Duke and Ricky Rodriguez. Do you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. I'll jump in.
All right, well, jump on in. What are your thoughts on Thad versus Ricky Rodriguez?
Well, I don't really know a whole lot about Ricky Rodriguez, and I just caught kind of what Paige was saying about it, and he was well, Bobby. No, I don't really know. Was he an OCW guy? I mean,
He's fighting what's
OCW guy. I would say.
I think he did some stuff in OCW, but he's been in a fight and he's been in a lot of other places. So,
well, if I invited him in for a big match, I could imagine that he probably has some shit going on. So, it's the opener for the show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. See what he can bring to the table.
It's going to be a good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we all know what Duke can do. So, instead of Duke's bringing somebody in for a match, it ought to be pretty stellar.
Hope so. And yeah, it goes back to what we were just discussing, Bobby, about setting the pace and setting the tone. And this, I think, is going to be a really good opening match for, again, what could be and has the potential to be a fucking solid pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're all hoping for a good show. Now, moving on, we're going to skip past the Final Four stuff. We'll get to that, and we'll discuss our ideal Final Four, or what we think the Final Four is going to be like, with the exception of myself and Mr. Knuckles, because we are involved in the Final Four. So I will speak on this match, Knuckles versus Keto. Mr. Page, what do you think?
I think that I was talking to TK the other day, maybe yesterday or the day before. He was calling to check on me because he's, that's my boy. But we were talking about this pay-per-view and, and I'll hold my thoughts on what I'm hoping for my final, to be what I would like for the final to be. But I really think that this match between Keto and TK has the potential to steal the fucking show. And I'm not just saying that because TK is on the podcast. I think that both of the characters are very well put together right now. Keto has, been pretty much unstoppable since his debut. It's a big moment for that character, and it's also a huge moment for TK too. Um, I didn't, not gonna regret the pick. Or are we gonna hold on the picks until we get to finals?
Until we get to finals, we're going to tell the Final Four story.
Okay, cool. So I think it's gonna be that match has potential. This one has potential to steal the fucking show.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah,
no,
ultimately, when it comes to the Final Four, me and TK can't speak on it on the pay per view or on this podcast because we're both involved in it, and we have our picks are obvious. Like we're riding our own horses to the finish here.
for
So,
sure.
no,
Well, I mean, my prediction on this
oh,
one
sorry.
then, my prediction is going to be TK to advance to the final. Um, and it's gonna. I would not be shocked if it went the other way either. Doc, let me get your take on it.
I think I was talking with TK the other day, and this made me think of like how like the bigger corporations and like WWE and shit like that like promote stuff, and looking at it that way, it being in Tokyo, Japan, it'd be like we're pushing for Rayon Keto to take the big one here, at the end of the night and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of funny. Of course, that's obviously not how it works here, but the match itself, I think it's one of the bigger ones throughout the whole night. Uh, TK's TK. He's always bringing the fire, and Rayon Keto, the little time that he's spent here has been pretty damn good. Like Chris Page said there, pretty unstoppable for the most part. Um, I think it's gonna be a fun one to follow.
I guess moving on next, will be Jenny Miz versus Bobby Bourbon. Myself, Doc, go ahead and lead into this one.
Well, another big one. The other half of the Final Four, Jenny Mist and Bobby Bourbon have both, been in the XWF for quite a while, and have definitely shown everything they can do. I think it's pretty good match to have, for the semifinals.
I think this is one that's gonna. It has the potential to step up and deliver to. It really kind of depends on what Jenny Miss brings to the table, in my opinion. Like I know that Bobby's gonna go balls out because he wants it. I think that Bobby takes this one, and it gives me the final of TK and Bobby Bourbon. That's my prediction on the matter.
Doc, what is your final?
Oh, the bastards for sure.
Thanks, TK. You heard that, right? We just got jinxed.
Yep, it's over. I was jinxed a while back previously on another episode, so
Oh, whatever. What would you expect me to say? I think both Rayon Keto and Jenny Mist have a good shot. I mean, I think this is a great Final Four. There doesn't seem single sided at all. I think it can go any which way, any matchup. Just depending on who brings what to the table, and it's interesting too because it is Savage Rules. So y'all gonna wait 3,000 word role plays. So to fit all the details and everything you need to cover between two matches, the Final Four match and the finals match within 6K, potentially you have to look at every angle going into this. When, last year we had the Elite Eight during March Madness, did we not?
Yeah.
And obviously I was part of that. I had a couple 4 matches. I can't remember what the role play rules were. I think they were closer to Warfare. I don't remember there being a word limit or anything. But just for those rules alone, it makes it anybody's game, because to be able to, fit everything you need to cover and put out quality work within those set limits, it can be hard to do sometimes.
Maybe. We'll get back to more on the tournament a little bit later. Now I just want to jump right into Barney, because it's going to culminate. Me and TK got to talk about what we're doing in it and what we're not doing in it and whatnot and whatnot. Anyways, I digress. I'm going to Peter Gilmore there. We're going to go to Barney Green versus Michael McBride. Extreme Rules, 1 RP, 3K word limit. I think that I'm looking forward to this one. I think McBride and Green are solid hands. They're good guys, good history in the XWF. They always bring a good story, and I always appreciate their work. This is going to be a great match, I think. TK, what do you think? We didn't get to talk very much.
Well, I think it'll be a fun match between the two of them. It's going to depend on who shows up and who doesn't, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Barney for this one. Yep. That's my pick. Barney Green.
Mr. Page, talk to us about Green McBride.
I don't think you could say it any better than what TK just said. It's a matter of who shows up versus who doesn't. But anytime Barney Green's name's on the card, I'm gonna usually go for Big Barney. So I'm gonna go Mean Green for the win.
This is almost nostalgic for me. I mean, these two go way back. Like, I joined the Fed in 2014, and these two were around then and everything like that. And it's just, I don't know, just kind of reminds me of the old days there with these two running around. I think it'd be a fun one.
Definitely. I agree. I mean, I remember back in like 2015 seeing these guys running with them, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I would love to have a match with McBride. I've never faced McBride. It sounds exciting to me. But that's down the road. I'm going with, I'm going to go against the, Doc, what's your pick?
Oh, I can't go against the Extreme Legend, man. Barney Green.
You know what? I'm going to go against the grain here. I'm going to buck the trend. I have faith in Barney Green. I think Barney Green, his legend is known. I think a lot of people just sleep on the legend that is Michael McBride. And if he shows, we might get a good match. But if not, it's Barney Green. That's going to lead us into Dolly Waters and R.L. Edgar versus Rampage and a mystery partner. Paige, have you been following the story pretty closely? Do you know a lot about who the mystery partner might just be?
Be perfectly honest with you, man. I haven't followed anything over the last week and a half or so, between vacation and COVID. So I have no clue who the mystery partner is. I hope that it's Todd from accounting, but I could be, misguided or let down. I was also thinking that what if it's Terry Borden? Maybe, I don't know. Very interested to see what's happening here. I think the pairing of Dolly and RL up against this duo is kind of interesting.
I gotta butt in. Are you saying that it might be Terry Borden because you set something up and Doc's gonna say it might be one of his characters, and then I'm gonna jump in and say it might be the literal gorilla? Or
it's kind of yeah.
No, I know who it is.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's no fun.
I know, right? Like,
well, we can't ask Doc who it is,
No, you can.
And he'll say, "You'll have to watch and find out."
All right,
No.
Doc, who is it?
Sebastian Duke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's going to come in. Dolly and Thad have that thing, and and Seb's going to come back and seek revenge, and take his spot back in the Hall of Legends eventually. This is all a long long, intricate
Long
storyline.
game,
So,
huh?
spoiler.
Elongame the shit out of this. TK, who do you think the mystery partner is?
It's obvious who it is, and anybody who says otherwise, if there's a mystery partner entrant, it's Sean Worstein. Always has been, always will be.
Well, that is a very good point. Bobby, who do you think it is?
Who do I think the mystery partner is?
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's going to be. There's so many possibilities because it's a mystery partner. It could be mystery partner.
You
know,
might be onto
figure that out.
something. You might be onto
I think
something.
it's most likely the mystery partner. Now, what if a guy showed up and signed up in the XWF and signed a contract? His name. I'm the mystery partner. And
Yeah, maybe we're reading too much into this.
Right.
Now, hold on. Hold on. Let me ask you this, because
it's Alan mystery partner. All right.
No. Is he from? Did we not mute our phones? What the fuck? No, I'm just, is he from parts unknown? Mystery partner has got to be from parts.
No, he's
unknown.
from Intercourse, Pennsylvania. But he is just the mystery partner. He has a home and all this stuff. Everybody knows where he lives. He's just a mystery man. Like he's always like nobody knows anything about him other than like, oh, that's his house, that's his family. You know, average run of the mill guy. He's just a mystery partner. He shows up and he is a mystery partner for mysterious tag team wrestling all around the wrestling universe. This is getting off the rails, gentlemen. You just need to accept that it's probably just the mystery partner.
I agree, but I'm going to take Dolly and RL for the record.
Seconded.
I didn't know they're fighting for a record. Now that I know that, Rampage has a very impressive collection of vinyl, and I think he really wants this match. And the mystery partner, this might be an Antiques Roadshow. So, and if it's for vinyl, whoo boy, those guys go nuts for it. Yeah, I'm just going to go Dolly and RL. Doc, who do you got?
I'm gonna go against the grain myself now here too. I mean, Dolly's come out of her fourth retirement, and dragging RL along with it, 8th retirement.
Yes.
And I just feel that she didn't give herself enough time here to scrub away any of that rust. And while Rampage has been rampaging as he does through the XWF here in recent weeks, so I'm gonna go with Rampage and a mystery partner.
All right.
Well, he also knows who the mystery partner is. So
we all do now. So, because I told you.
Yeah, that's true. Or is it? Dun, dun, dun.
Paige, did you give us your pick?
I did. I seconded TK.
Okay, so we're all on board except for Doc. Doc's doing Rampage and one of 4 possibilities, but it's probably we're all way off the mark. I feel way off the mark.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Sean Worstein.
Okay. Well, our next match is Xavier Lux versus Macbain, and again, this is a Chris Page guy versus a Chris Page guy. Chris Page, what the hell's going on here with your guys facing only your guys? I smell chicanery over here, and I don't like it.
Oh, well, here's the deal. In the storyline with this particular match and this particular build-up, Mac came out on the inaugural, State of the Warfare address by CCP. Confronted Theo. We gave Theo the opportunity to hand select Mac's opponent for this particular pay-per-view. But I did not anticipate was for him to select a member of my own organization, a member of my own, another guy within CCPE, and Xavier Lux. So I guess Theo's logic is to, fuck Page and fuck his guys by putting them against each other. But we're going to openly accept that challenge and show you what happens when you put premier talents that fall under this umbrella together. They create magic. And that's what's going to happen here. I'm not going to make a pick on this one because I honestly don't know.
Well, I like both these guys, and I like both their work. I'm a little more familiar with Lux, so I think this is gonna be a hell of a matchup. I'm going with Lux. TK.
I'm with you. I don't know too much about Macbain. I saw him at the Denzel Porter Super Show, right? And I think that's all I know of Macbain. So I will go with Lux because I'm familiar with his work and I really enjoy his work. So that's what I got.
Doc.
All right, I'm going to say it. March Madness featuring Chris Page. Okay. Yeah, like TK said there, Macbain, we all, he's not really in the XWF per se, is he? He's more of a like special appearance. Correct?
Yeah, Paige, is he a special attraction?
Who, Mac? No, he's on board. This is
Oh,
his
is he on
debut.
board? Sweet.
Yep.
All right, yeah, but like TK said, he was at the Denzel Porter thing, and I had the opportunity to go against him and a few others there, and I like his style. He brought it to the pay-per-view there, the event. And Lux has been the Fed for a while, and he's been a lot of fun to follow here. He's had some pretty intense, stellar matches. He's fought Alias, he's fought Corey. Did he not fight Corey? I know he's had a couple title opportunities. Hasn't been able to get the big one yet, but he's right there. He can compete and everything. But I think I'll probably go with Lux for that one.
All right. Well, that rolls.
I think
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it's going to be in Mac's case, this is going to be kind of a coming out party, and I think in Lux's case, it's going to be to me, it's a battle of, what's the pecking order within CCPE, right? Like who's better, who's the best. It's going to be one of those situations where it can be really competitive, but it's going to be Mac, and it's going to be they're going to bring the shit. I know they will. I think I do want to make a prediction just because everybody's saying Lux. I'm going to say Mac.
Well, we're going to roll into Calvary versus Vita Valentine. Standard singles match. I'm familiar with the story between these two. They've been feuding for a while. This is actually a really cool matchup. I know Calvary wants a piece of Vita, and Vita wants a piece of Calvary. Really, really loving this feud. TK, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, this goes back, like a year, maybe two? Calvary had punched Vita like clean across the fucking stadium, right? Pretty much. And then they just had a match at on Anarchy in the Plump Pigeon tournament. Eyes on Anarchy. This should be an interesting match. I'm pulling for Vita myself. Not saying that Calvary can't get it done, because he can. I'm just pulling that way.
Doc, your thoughts?
I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really happy Calvary's back in XWF and everything. You staying with that handler back in the day. It's back when I first started and everything. And
who did he used to handle?
Hysteria, L.H. Harrison.
Huh. Yeah, he's a good writer.
Yeah.
I remember L.H. Harrison.
Glad he's back, and Vita's been hot. I'm going to go with Vita for this one, just because they've just been rolling. Consistency is key around here. There's something I've lacked from time to time, and it's important to just once you get rolling, keep rolling. And I think Vita has that going for there.
Chris Page.
I think if Calvary shows up to potential, we got a match, and we got a good one. I think that Vita initially when we were rolling into this, my mind was on just not too long ago. Vita was trading the TV championship. Um, I think that this could be a big one. It could be a real big sleeper if both parties show up to potential. And I know that Vita will. Uh, but I think Vita takes this one. If Calgary shows to potential, we got a tough fight. But Vita's probably gonna walk away.
You know what? I gotta go against the grain. I like Vita. Was pulling for Vita. I am pulling for Vita, but I'm gonna give it to Calvary again. I think he takes Vita here again. No offense to Vita or any Vita fans out there. I'm a Vita fan, but she has to bring it if she wants a chance. Calvary's no slouch. This brings us to our Anarchy Championship match: Latina Submission Machina versus Elijah Martin, with Chronic Chris Page or Good Time Steve McCune, or is that McQueen?
McCowan.
McCowan. Okay. It's a submission match. Anarchy rules. Page, your fifth man on the show, not facing somebody in your, let's call it a grouping. Tell us more about Elijah Martin.
A grouping. We're an enterprise. It's a company. We're a company.
I know you keep saying that, but I don't.
That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to. Elijah has done his shit on Anarchy. There's no doubt about that. He's been a pretty impressive champion if he's coming into this as champion. Let's keep in mind that as of this recording, Anarchy's not up, and so that we don't have the outcome of that particular title match. And in the chance that Elijah retains and rolls into this as champion, he's done a pretty good job toting that brand and carrying that championship. There's no doubt about it. He's if he keeps going, he could almost be like not the next Ruby-esque type character to hold the championship for a hot minute or to carry the brand. But he's got potential to do that. On the other side of that coin, if McQueen rolls into this, it's a whole other. Or sorry, McQueen. There's our name botch of the day, guys.
McQueen?
I don't know.
We still have time to go, Paige. You've got a lot more time to mess up a lot more names, so we're good.
But I'm messing up the name now. It's like it's my kryptonite. What is this fucking word?
McCowan.
McCowan?
McCowan?
I don't know. My excuse is COVID. I can't.
It's Vanderbilt and everything's fucking silent. I don't.
Anyway, if Good Time Stevie comes into this as champion, then this is a completely different shake and a completely different look. I think Elijah and LSM have done this before. I could be mistaken, but either which way, if Elijah rolls into this as champion, he's probably leaving as champion. If Good Time Stevie comes into this as champion, we can probably have a new champion being crowned.
Didn't Elijah beat LSM for the Anarchy title?
I don't know, dude. You're asking me to think. I can't do that right now.
An honest question. I wasn't sure.
Tell us about it. What do you know? Give us your outlook.
Me?
Yes, please.
Oh, well, if I was a betting man, I would probably go against. I'd probably take anyone against LSM right now. I think LSM hasn't showed up for the last 3 matches, so yeah. Elijah or Good Time Stevie, I think, will take this one. Just going off of a trend. However, I know LSM can bring it. She brought it before, and gold's on the line, so that's a little bit more enticing. I like Elijah all overall in this whole thing. I liked him whenever he was just testing the waters in the XWF and everything. I like his character. I like his style. And I think he's kind of found his own on Anarchy now.
Fair. TK.
Well, no matter who walks in the champion, they will walk out the champion. LSM's too busy practicing backflips to figure out wrestling moves. And that's all I'll say about that.
Quick and dirty. You guys already covered all the bases. LSM doesn't have to put out a good showing, just show up once, and then I'll have some faith. I don't know Good Time Stevie all that well. Maybe he'll make me eat my words. But I think we're all going Elijah Martin here. This brings us to the television title match. Gentlemen, this is just a treat, I think, for myself, for TK, and for the dozens and dozens of fans of this kind of match. Before we go any further, TK, tell us about.
Well, Sint versus Charlie Nichols. Man, this is probably my third favorite match on the card. Sint can bring it. Charlie can bring it. I don't think they've ever had a match against each other. I'm really liking this. Charlie wants to test himself, and I think Sint's the perfect test. I hope Charlie wins. I'm going to pick Charlie because fuck Centurion.
All right. Well, I guess that brings us to Mr. Page. Are you fucking Centurion like TK is?
I am not actually.
Okay, so what position are you taking?
I think that Charlie's done a great job as TV champion. I'd like to see him step up in something else. I'd like to see him step up into the Super Continental Championship. I know he wants to get to the uni, and I know that he's got the dedication to do it, and but he has the ability too. Number one, number two. I think Centurion needs to take this. I think that it's been a while since he's had a singles championship in the XWF. I think that he could do more with the TV division as a whole than Charlie, and Charlie can elevate himself up. Even losing the match, like it can happen. So I think Sint takes this. I hope anyway. And it's not a knock on Charlie by any means whatsoever. I just think that it's time for him to, put the big boy pants on and get up and win that. Win that Super Continental Championship, because that's what's going to get you to the Uni Championship. Get accustomed to writing at least 3 role plays unlimited, because when you step into the Universal Championship reign or championship match, that champion dictates the role play limit. So you can't expect to win something if you don't kind of train yourself to getting there. You know what I mean? Does that make sense, or is it just me kind of rambling?
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, anyway, Centurion, pick up the championship. Charlie, move on to bigger things.
Yeah.
I like this matchup. I always like TV matchups. They're fun. Charlie's been steamrolling that division for a while now. We were talking up Rayon Keto a little bit ago. How unstoppable he's been. He just had a TV title shot recently and got taken down by Charlie. Charlie defended.
Yep.
So that's a good example there of how Charlie can be. He can step up and do what he needs to do to pick up the win. I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's looking at a bigger prize here soon. But Page, you tell him to step up. Well, somebody else has to step up and beat him before he can move on. So
That's true too.
that could be up to Centurion here. I like Cent. I think he could have a similar impact on the TV title division. As Charlie has the last couple of months. I think Sim can grab that torch and carry it for a while too.
I think what I really like about the match in general, like take the role plays aside, Charlie Nichols and Centurion, the two characters themselves. Like to me, it has a big time feel to it for the TV championship, and I don't think that I've seen or felt like a big fight feel for the TV championship on pay-per-view. I could be mistaken. Again, I'm sick as fuck right now. But it has that big fight feel.
For sure.
It does. It does. I'm
Maybe.
fucking going Charlie Nichols. Fuck Centurion. We've already touched on everything. Nah, I'll touch on it even further. Centurion can't touch Charlie Nichols' balls because Charlie Nichols is gonna fuck him up.
Suck it.
Suck it. Centurion can go fuck himself. I'm gonna hate your role plays. No seriousness, I love both of them, but still, fuck Centurion. This takes us to the Super Continental Championship match. I'm telling you, I love the rules of this title. I could definitely see myself going after this title at some point. I'm tired of facing Corey. So I know Corey Smith. Love his work. Probably one of the best rivals I've had in this federation. Like I can say without a shadow of a doubt, nobody has faced Corey Smith as much as I have on this podcast for certain. Not many in the XWF. I have gone up against this guy time and again, and he's just pure fire every time. Like the guy hits notes like crazy. I No offense to Angie Vaughn, but she is going up. She's getting put through a sawmill right now. She's about to get shredded, I think. So I'm going Corey Smith on this one. He's just, whew. Doc, why don't you talk to us about Corey and Angie Vaughn?
I have a similar history with Corey like you. I haven't, fought him as many times. No, not as many times. No, not at all. But just so used to the character. You know what I mean? We were tag champs together with Thad. I fought him at War Games. I fought him at Leap of Faith. So know the character pretty damn well, and I think he's done a good job carrying the Super Continental title. I think that's he's a good character for that position. You know what I mean? Like, seems like a Corey Smith title. Angie Vaughn is coming pretty hot. I'm liking the character, and like you said, it's going to take a lot to meet that standard. You know what I mean? Corey Smith is consistent. He comes out every week, and every time he defends or just has any match, and he writes 10 out of 10 every time. You know what I mean? It's never a disappointing showing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Angie Vaughn thus far has done the same, but just to reach the heights that it's going to take to take down Corey, take the title. Warfare rules, so pretty much anything goes. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a fun one to watch too.
Mr. Page.
Well, this is a interesting one for me. It's hard to go against Corey, number one. He is a really good writer. Angie Vaughn, I'm not too familiar with. We did something in TPW, like a tag tournament or something a couple months ago, or maybe a month or two. Again, I don't know, forgetting. I think Corey's going to retain here. It's not a knock against Angie. It's just, that's coming in against Corey's like baptism by fire. Angie could surprise me, but I think Corey retains.
PK.
I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to pick Angie Vaughn, and I think that the quality of role plays we're going to get out of this match will only be outshone by our main event. This is going to be a great matchup. I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, that rolls us into the tag team championship match. We have Double Trouble, J Omega and Other Omega versus two more of Chris Page's guys in this accumulation of chaps that you've brought to the XWF. Mark Flynn and North Korean war criminal. Standard tag team match, Savage Rules. You know, TK, we faced Flynn and Criminal. I think we can take Flynn and Criminal. Who are J Omega and Other Omega?
Well, Jimmy would have to tell us all about them, but when it boils down, I'm going to take Flynn and Criminal. I know what they could put out. J Omega is good, but Mark is some other level gear that you have to tap into just to beat Mark and Criminal. That's what I think, personally.
True enough. Mr. Page, talk us up about the next two contestants on the Page is Right. Like these guys, Flynn and Criminal.
Okay, yeah, seeing my name on this card so many fucking times. This is getting
more of your red shirts on your Enterprise.
you know, they're rocking the tag straps, man. And kind of holding it down since the bastards stepped away. I yeah, I want to say good luck to the Omegas, but you got a tall task. Flynn and Criminal to retain.
Well, this brings us up to. Well, I have to make my pick. Flynn and Criminal. I got to pick them just because. No offense to J Omega. Doc, what are your thoughts on the match? I'm sorry.
I like the J Omegas. I like his style, the way he picks a partner for each. It's basically a multiverse type of thing here, where he I guess we pick who his partner is going to be for that week, and I think that is not only fun, but in a way could give him sort of an advantage, because whoever they're be going up against don't really know who they're going up against. Yeah, J Omega, but could it be Dinosaur J Omega? Could it be Ninja J Omega? Could it be the Doctor J Omega? You just don't know. But Mark Flynn and War Criminal, probably one of the funnest teams in the Fed ever. I only heard stories of Mark Flynn, during my time here, because he had just left before I joined, and for him to come back and I believe he first came in as War Criminal, and to bring Mark Flynn in later and go after the tag straps is just awesome. Really it's a real treat to see, like, the Mark Flynn that everybody knew before come back, as well as some new material that he has for us with War Criminal, and combine them. And join up with this fellowship that Paige has going on here. I'm gonna have to go with NK and Mark Flynn, though, for sure. They're just, we have a lot of champions coming into this pay-per-view that have just been steamrolling, like I said about Charlie there moments ago. And it's just going to take a lot for these challengers to overcome the odds, take these guys down.
That's a fair assessment. We do roll into the Extreme title match. Now, when you guys talked about sleeper match of the night, for me, this is my sleeper match of the night. I think this one has the potential to just be a spectacular match. Absolutely wonderful in every sense of the word. I look forward to the work that's coming from these guys. I look forward to the match itself. I think that this is going to be a big one. What do you guys think?
pre-main event, I think it's going to be pretty good too. Marf's been in and out of big matches a lot, and to pick up the Extreme title there, probably the highlight of his career so far. Is this his first big defense?
Yeah. It's a
Chameleon.
pay-per-view defense,
Yeah.
and it's for the Extreme title, which no doubt about that's the number 2 title in the company. Like you get that, like you're in the money. Like you just got to hold on to that thing, free championship.
And Chameleon's come out of the
Easier said
woodwork
than
here.
done. Yeah.
I think it's an even shot here. I think this is a great matchup. I think Chameleon, earned his way here. He paved his own path, and it's tough to really pick a side on this one.
Paige, do you have any thoughts on the match? Maybe you can sway Doc here. Give him. Maybe we'll come back to you, Doc.
Okay.
Well, I think the platform is there for Marf and the Chameleon to deliver. They had a match a couple weeks ago in Warfare. We saw how that one ended up. It was like legit. There was no finish. So we're gonna get the continuation of that story here on pay-per-view where it matters. I do think this is probably one of the more evenly contested matches on the card, and it could go either way. And as much as I would like to say that Marf retains, I think that if the Chameleon brings his A game, we have a new Extreme Champion. I also think that there's someone else that has a more vested interest in how this one shakes out, and that would be TK.
That is true. I'm keeping my eye on this one. TK has a number 1 contendership for this title, so I think both guys can bring it. Marf has done an excellent job retaining this thing, kicking out when he needs to, always kicking out every single time on the 24/7 boards. But the Chameleon can bring it. So, I'm going to go with Marf to retain here. Not for no reason other than I have to choose somebody. I think the Chameleon can do it and might do it, but I have to pick someone, and I'm picking the champion.
That's fair. You know what? I'm gonna make my pick. I'm gonna go with fans. No, that's not fair. I think that again, this is gonna be the sleeper match. I think that this is gonna lead into a really exciting loss. That TK is gonna beat the shit out of whoever wins this. Period. But so it doesn't really matter who wins. So I guess I'll go with Chameleon. Doc, do you have any new thoughts, or are you still, on the fence?
Well, I'm definitely still on the fence, but we all know that it takes a little bit more when you're coming in and trying to win a championship rather than defend a championship.
True.
So just with that, just the balance beam just kind of already leaning Marf's way. I'm gonna go with Marf in defending the title.
Champion's advantage. Something like that.
Just because it's going to be that close, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, this brings us. The next match is going to be the March Madness Finals. Now, you guys picked myself and TK to advance to this finals match, which is very flattering. I'm excited to be a part of the March Madness Final Four. I think everybody else involved is really talented. I look forward to it. This is going to be a challenge. TK, what do you think?
Yeah, everybody in the Final Four, no matter who you drew, you were going to go up against somebody hard. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking forward to putting myself to the test, really. So that's all I got. Hopefully, I'm in the finals versus Bobby. That's what I really want. I think that would be a great story. Yeah, I'll kick it over to Paige.
Well, I called Bourbon TK as my final. And I kind of thought that it would, if that was the case, like how would this happen? How would it play? Bastard versus bastard. Do they go balls out, face to face, man to man, best man wins? Or go a different direction? Maybe a bastardly direction. And like, what's to say DK and Burbs don't just walk out and declare themselves the kings of the XWF, and fuck everybody. That would be a bastard thing to do, right? Um, I don't know where to go in this. Like, I know OOC, I know you both like want it. Everybody involved in it wants it, right? Like, I could also see Jenny Mist in this position against Keto. I could see Keto in this position versus Bourbon. I could see Mist in this position versus TK. And they're like, everybody wants it. But if it comes down to TK and Bourbon, it really depends on what the characters want to do with it. Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, I like your idea of like a bastard plan. I'm going with the finger poke of death. I just can't decide who's going to be Hogan and who's going to be Nash. Maybe they'll flip a coin.
For sure. I mean, I think there's something, there's something there. But it really depends on what TK and Bourbon are going to do. If that is indeed the final.
It's going to be.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
All right. Well, I got to look forward to a lot of work, and I don't care who wants it more. I want it most. TK,
Doesn't matter. I'll win it. It's okay, Bobby. It'll be all right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the turmoil. I'm shook. I'm fucking shook. Can the bastards put their bastardly friendship aside for one night and then rekindle the fire, go back and win them tag straps?
Oh, no. I'm not going to smack talk TK, but I'm going to do better smack talk than him.
Not gonna read dragon porn again, are you?
Hell no, like that. Come on, man. Nah, I'm good on that. I don't want to ever see that again. My eyes, my poor eyes. Well, I guess that brings us to the main event, which is this going to be a hell of a match. Alias Vaughn with the eighth man in Chronic Chris Page's team that he's assembled. TK, what are your thoughts on the match?
Now, this is the match that I'm most looking forward to. These two guys can write, and the work that's going to go into this, I don't know how many they're going to go, but I know Alias could go like 10. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter how many there is. There's going to be a lot, and it's going to be good shit. So it's going to be highly contested. I don't know who to pick. I am going to pick Alias because fuck, man. Like, what? Did he lose? He lost to Lycana once for the Extreme title, and to Jim Cadis when Cadis cashed in, right?
Yeah.
Those are his 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with Alias, hands down.
Talk to us about being a formal Universal Champion and what this match means to that title to you.
I missed who you pointed to. Me?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
you're good.
What does the title mean to me?
Well, what does this match mean to the title and you?
Oh, well, the title's always been about best of the very best. We recently, altered the rules a bit to, I don't really know why, I guess. Just I like the champ's advantage here. It could be, these guys can really decide where they want to set the bar and go after that bar and bring their best possible work. Alias, like TK said, has been on a roll since he rolled into this place. And Peter Vaughn, same story, and not just here. It's definitely going to be close. I go back to the Extreme title match, just how close it's going to be and what it takes for the challenger to come in and overcome the champion. The way that Vaughn's been writing throughout multiple feds and being the top guy throughout multiple feds, it shows that he definitely knows what he's doing. And, like I said, of course, we know Alias knows what he's doing as well. He can bring it and bring it for fucking days. But I'm going to go with the champ defending. It's going to be Alias's first clean loss. Just because I think it's going to be that close. And I think Vaughn is just been rolling so hard that it's going to be hard to stop that boulder,
Mr. Page, as a former Universal Champion yourself, what are your thoughts on the match?
I think
Also, again, you're the 8th man in your cadre, if you will, is being represented in this match. Tell us more about him.
I mean, I don't have to tell you about him. Everybody already knows. He's kind of the man. He's been the man for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 months. Vaughn is hitting a stride. And I think that this is the biggest Universal title match of the year so far. Granted, we're 3-4 months in. From an out of character standpoint, because we know that these guys are going to show up and deliver, and that nobody's going to cop out, nobody's going to leave, and nobody's going to pitch fit or what have you. Vaughn kind of dictates this pace. I think that Alias is a writer that gets better with as he role plays. So the more you give him, the better he's going to get, because he's just that good. He picks up steam as he goes. Vaughn kind of controls his own fate as far as on the role play side. He kind of can pick and choose how he wants to play it. But knowing him the way that I do, chatting with him out of character and on the side, he wouldn't want to pussyfoot around, and he would go balls out. So I'm expecting that to happen. And I think that if you enjoy the game and you enjoy reading work from 2 high quality role players, then this match is for you. It's a big one to end the night on, and implications are huge. Alias arguably has probably been one of the faces of the company for the better part of a year or so. Vaughn came in 5 or 6 months ago, immediately kind of shot up to the top. It's his biggest title defense. I have to side with Doc on this one. I think Vaughn is on a roll, and that he is hitting a different gear in a different stride. Alias is coming back off of a break. Not mean that you know that he's going to get skunked by any means, but Vaughn has the momentum, and he has an awful lot of it coming into this match. I think he retains. I think it's going to be a tremendous match and a tremendous series of role plays between these guys. Alias could pick up the championship. There's no denying it, but it is going to be a tough one. But at the end of the day, I think Vaughn retains. I think it's too soon to take it off of him, and that he's doing a really goddamn good job right now.
Well, that just leaves my input on the match, and I look forward to reading both men's work. I like both guys. I like Vaughn's work. I like Alias's work. I think that this match is going to be the fireworks at the end of the show, you know, and that's why it's capping off the show. It is for the big belt, and it is the two guys going after the big belt are the guys who should be going after the big belt right now. You know, at this show, this is the money match, and yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. But I'm gonna keep the split going. I'm gonna go with Alias along with TK. I think Vaughn is great. I think he's very good and great. Alias is unreal, nigh legendary. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm going with Alias on this one just to cap it off. And also, I guess to pick against a Chris Page guy because I've had to pick so many because they were booked against each other nonstop throughout the night. So I wound up having to pick Chris Page guy. No offense, Page. Just, you know.
I'm kind of offended that I'm on this card so many goddamn times. I think I'm going to have to reevaluate that in the future.
Chris Page featuring March Madness.
Yes.
No, like seriously, as we're going through this show and we're going through this card, like I'm almost like figuring out where I can just.
I'm gonna start writing Chris Page segments for this show. I shit you not. There's gonna be a segment where Chris Page is sitting there playing a fucking guitar, just jamming out, and then he's gonna sip a cup of tea. He's gonna do a back handstand for no good goddamn reason, and then I don't know. It's just gonna be utter nonsense. Just
Don't tempt me, dude. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt
more
me.
Chris Page to this card. This card is lacking just so much Chris Page in so many matches. You're not a part of the Super Continental Championship match, the TV title match, or the Extreme title match. I'm gonna fix all of that. I'm gonna make sure that Chris Page spot happens every goddamn match. Every single one. I'm gonna submit an attack segment in the middle of both Final Four where Chris Page comes out in a banana hammock and just I don't know. You know, he banana hammocks around. He turns it into a verb. He does things we never knew you could do with the banana hammock, turning it into an instrument almost. It's quite impressive. But yes, we need more Chris Page on the show.
I'm going to write a Chris Page segment that cuts off the Universal title celebration where Chris Page is backstage feeding fish.
He can't be feeding fish. He's going to be ringside.
No, but he'll also be backstage feeding fish. It'll be taped earlier. Pre-taped segment of him feeding fish after the main event. Like, just there. It needs to be there.
Pre-taped CCTV.
Yes.
All right. I mean,
CPTV.
Fine. I'm going to keep selling.
TK, you're going to write a couple of Chris Page segments for the show?
At least one good opening. You know,
XWF Universe, if you are listening and it is not before deadline, submit your Chris Page segments to the show because there is not enough Chris Page on the show.
No, there's going to be less Chris Page on this show. You just don't know. Y'all just don't know it yet.
No, he does commentary.
There you go. I used to put myself on commentary all goddamn night. So you got to listen
We
to
might
me
as well.
all
You're out there for every other match. All but two.
I can't help it that I have a plethora of talent under this umbrella. I can't help that. I'm everywhere else too. I'm not just in the XWF. I'm in other feds as well, doing the same thing. I manage 2 or 3 people in TPW. I manage a couple in SCW. I'm managing some in action wrestling now. I'm managing some in fight. I'm everywhere. What can I tell you?
Page World Order.
Well, I told everybody that I was trying to do something, and goddamn it, if I have to, and by do something is like bridge this fucking gap. You talk about it or you can be about it. And what I'm finding is that there are people that want to do this if they can do it their way. And, again, talk about it or be about it. And if it fails, it's not going to be because I didn't try. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I do agree it's a little ridiculous that I'm on the show 5 fucking times, and that's going to change. Like, legit.
No. Please don't change it. We actually like it now.
No. That's definitely.
I'm actually going to count them up because I think it's more than 5.
I already did. It is 5. That's like probably 4 too many.
I'm on board now.
We need more Chris Page segments on the show.
No, we don't.
Get the Chris Page segments. Just
Now, I got a real question for you, Paige, and the viewers want to know. In that very first match, that very first match, when he comes out with Ricky Rodriguez, is he going to run to the back real quick to come out with Thaddeus Duke? Because I think that should happen. I think that should totally happen.
Nope, that is not going to happen.
TK is correct.
Paige is going to come out separately because he doesn't show bias towards his guys.
He'll come out after the competitors.
Nope, he'll either come out before he'll come out with no music. He'll come out with no music. Just walk his ass down to the ring midway through the match. Come on, guys. I'm not even going to fucking do it.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
Chris Page.
Fuck you guys too.
I think that wraps up the Chris Page pay-per-view. I mean, March Madness 4.
No, you said it right the first time. You said it right the first time. Well, I mean, I guess that's going to wrap it up. They're through shitting on me and knocking me around for representing so much illustrious talent all over the e-fetting game. But this is definitely going to be a good pay-per-view. Well, it's going to be a good CCP show featuring a pay-per-view, ultimately. And with that being said, there's only one thing left for us to do, and that's throw it over to Vinny Lane. So, Vinny, take us out.
From the bottom of my heart, in the name of everybody who has ever been in the XWF, now, then, and forever, fuck you, Ghost Town.
Thanks for listening to the XWF podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the XWF YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at XWF1999. And don't forget to check us out at XWF99.com. Be sure to join us next time where the action never slows down.